A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all on frequency. This is ZA6YI hosting the worldwide DATV Net on Sunday this time. We don't have many people on the net today, so it'll be quite a short one. We also just want to thank the Qatar Satellite Company for allowing us the opportunity to have our satellite, amateur satellite, on their satellite. We also wish to thank the people behind the scenes, which is AMSAT DL, AMSAT UK, and of course the British Amateur Television Club. With their inputs and advice and wikis they have on their different web pages, it enables many people to come onto a DATV and partake in the fun. Of course, there are a number of good software programmers as well. We want to say hi and thank you to all of them. In particular, there is the French contingent, Christian and his father. And then there is the South African contingent, which is Tom, ZR60W, and also ZS1SCI, Ohan. It's a Johan without the J. And then, of course, there are many British programmers that have done excellent work. And we want to thank everybody that's had a hand at making this possible. Really a decent hand of applause from our side. Today we have a relatively short list. Let's see if I can bring it up. Let me just get that to go. And we can pull up the list, and here we have G8KOE Martin to come up next. After that, Leon, ZS1 Mike down in Worcester in the Cape. Martin's in the UK, and then all the way to South America, to Brazil, Papa Yankee 2 Radio November. As more guys clock in, we'll see them on the list, no doubt. Let me just have a look at the BATC page. Let's see who's looking. Peter. Oh, no. Yeah, there's a few conversations going on at the moment. But anyway, today, I want to talk about the camera. You remember I got a camera not so long ago for a microscope camera. And let's see if I can just call up the thing we did, because I had a problem with the microscope camera. Let me just go to iRAN View and play the slideshow. And there we go. That was the camera as it was now, put onto the little stand that came with it. But the problem is the camera only got stuck in one direction. You couldn't rotate it around the Z axis. They have this thing here, which you can put in. Let me just turn this audio down a little bit. It's a bit loud. They have this that you can screw in, but then you need little Allen keys to fasten it. And I thought, no, that's not such a great idea. Let us try something else. Be nice if it can work. Now it's gone completely off sequence. Hell's bells. Let's try again, guys. Just sorry. Let me just take it out here. It's not always so fantastic, this iRAN View. Right, let's play the slideshow. Okay, there we go. And then I must use a different keystroke to move it on. So there we go. You can see in its original way, that's how it was stuck. So if your PC board's not 100% lined up, you find that things are all over the place, which makes it awkward if you want to solder on that same PC board while looking. And so just another view. Now, one could have used the bottom side. There's no doubt about that. Over there, you could have used that ring, but it's very floppy. It wobbles and it's not robust. Anyway, so I decided to make a proper ring, a nice robust thing out of a piece of aluminium, just mill it out on the milling machine. That's now the upside down version of the ring with the lens next to it. And just to show you that we made a little lock nut as well, that you could just lightly, a little grub nut that you could just lightly fasten the camera in the position you wanted. Anyway, that's the right aperture. That's the way it should be. And then you slide your camera in from the top, and you can lock it with that little lock nut over there. You don't have to go mad. I'm actually going to cut that a bit shorter so you can't totally go nuts and put a dent into the camera housing. But I made this thick enough so that even with this all the way home, that doesn't interfere with the camera. So you can't make a mistake there. That was the idea. Just make it a bit more foolproof. Just another view of what it looks like. And then you slide the camera in. You'll see now I just turned it upside down so you can see it can go in any direction. And so now we've now taken the camera and slid it down into that enclosure. And if you see where the camera's over there, you can see where it's facing at the moment with the 4K in front of you. You can now twist it, just a close-up view so you can get a better view of it. So you can twist it one side, you can twist it all around if you want, or the other side or whatever. Now, the beauty is you have a PC board that's lined up like that. Now, you don't have to move the whole PC board and get the thing lined up because it's a pain. You've now located where you want to be. By the way, that thing's quite big. It's tiny on the Pluto board. You can hardly see those things. They're small, especially the tracks. So it's nice and enlarged. And so now I just use the lens, the actual camera itself to straighten things. And there it is, straight as you can get. So that is a little project I did just between tea time when the milling machines weren't busy. So I thought that might be an idea if somebody wants to try something like, you can even 3D print it. Doesn't have to be aluminium, just got a bit carried away, I suppose. But anyway, it works, and it's easy now to do. It's much better to operate it that way. Right, let me just see. Hello to Tajir, R6WAX. Nice to see you watching, and thanks for the signal report, D4.3. Okay, and Chris. Okay, he's talking to Peter. Right, with that, the King of England to take it. Martin, please, sir. G8 KOE to please take it from ZA6YI.
Right, I think we've locked in. Hopefully, let's see that we've got a bit of sound before I carry on. He says, looking. Yep, let's mute the sound this end so as I don't cause any problems. I feel totally unprepared this time. It's most sort of weird, so I'll try and get things in order. Adam was asking some bits about OpenTuner, which I'll cover right at the end. Again, I'm giving a demonstration. Yeah, I might as well sort of mention the good old back detector. I did give that a go. I haven't got any recordings of it, but it's got two knobs on it, and the tuning knob as such I found was quite critical in getting a nice deep sound on it. But quite chuffed with that. It's quite convenient. And the case is what really makes it, doesn't it? So yes, I didn't mention that last time there, Leon, but the clue is now on the back. Yeah, the lighting here seems to be a bit changeable, so apologies there. The other thing I've been playing with is the DATV Red. I've been suffering a few problems, not with DATV Red, but with trying to decide whether it's the Pluto getting too hot, whether it's the PA getting too hot, whether it's a streaming issue, etc., etc. Sort of going around in circles a little bit. But I was running 4.91, which isn't the latest release. It's a bit more, and I think some things in that aren't exactly haven't been finished off, shall we say. It's still in the development stage. And I was losing the this little cancellation side of things was intermittently disappearing. Sometimes I would click on something and it would instantly find them, and as it's hopefully doing there, and go back to me. But other times it just was losing its way. but since changing back from 4.91 to 4.9, which is the latest fully developed one, it's working fine. The other thing I played with chasing sort of things, I looked at the temperature of the Pluto itself, which at the moment is sitting at 21.93 according to this on the thing. And just so happens that my son was having a clear out, and he gave me a means of hopefully keeping things a little bit cooler, which is now installed in the garage. It's not a particularly powerful one, but it does blow some cold air and suck some air from the outside. So stand more of a fighting chance in the hot temperatures that we've been having. So that's and I also took the top off the case that the Pluto was in and put a larger fan, so it's blowing plenty of air over the Pluto itself. That and many other sort of bits and pieces. It's always difficult to chase things down. Also, I think some of the problems were due to updates in Windows, etc. So it's always worth, if you're getting problems, is shutting everything down, restarting it all up, including the Pluto and everything else. Quite often things have got confused or whatever, or communication issues. It's always worth going back. I got confused, which is nothing new to me. I've been trying to resurrect old bits of kit that I've had sitting around doing nothing, which one was the old Retifus RT3 radio, which I vandalised, and I've now put it back to original state. So that's now working, he says, just to prove that it does. Oh, yeah, that's working. And then also I had an MMDVM repeater type hotspot, which let's go to the middle screen, which is that beastie, which is also now up and running on a Raspberry Pi 3, board with all the other bits and pieces, and a display. So that's running on the Brandmeister system, and a second hotspot that I've got, which sits over there, is running on the DMR Plus system. I tried to find other things that I could do with the Raspberry Pi, which was sitting doing nothing, but I couldn't, so I resurrected it back. The other thing my son dropped off to me, which isn't going to show very well, it's all mainly white, this camera doesn't seem to like it, I don't have a chance to set it up, but it's the little surface mount PC, but this one, the actual touchscreen works. Oh dear, this is terrible, isn't it? Don't ever try and well, it does work, so I can change between different pieces. So I can look at the reporter. I can look at I've got an Arduino, a couple of them things. One, I can monitor 8 channels relays that I can switch on and off, but that's working exceedingly well, although it doesn't display well on the camera. I should have thought I was going to do that before just coming on here, but it's a last minute thing. But at least the weather station displays all right. The other thing that came to light was Gary, let's get back to the closer to the microphone, sent me a picture, which made me very envious. I've never been on board Caroline, something I've always wanted to do, but he sent me that picture. I think it was just to wind me up. That started me looking back at what bits and pieces I might have lurking around, and I found a very old video, I won't show very much of it, that I'd downloaded many years ago from Renz's site, PA6ALK's side of things, which showed the sad day in Caroline's history, shall we say. But I'll just play a very small bit of it because it's quite a long video. Quite happy to play it all, but I'll only do that if there are requests for it. But let's do a little start. Let's cut down the audio of Caroline itself. It shows a number of the insides of the boat, but I can zoom it on in a minute, but which I will do. But it shows also later on the destruction that went on. But I found the studio side of things sort of going back all that time and seeing things. It shows that the quality of recordings have moved on. But the equipment that's used in the studio. Anyway, but it's fortunately it's about I think I timed it. It's about 40 minutes worth of video, but I couldn't find it anywhere else to put up a link for it. There's other ones, but not this one. It took me ages to find it. I had to hunt back through old hard drives that I had, which I tend to hang on to. Right, let's go back to me. But that gives you a little insight, and I blame Gary for sending me the picture. Is there anything else that I've spoken about? The hotspots, etc., etc. No, I think that's probably it. That's probably long enough for me. But we'll see how we go. And do we have any more information on the launches there, Leon, I wonder? But you looked terribly worried when I saw you earlier, which is unlike you. Had you just rushed in or something, perhaps? Probably because you're working away. Right, I'll put a test card and pass it over to you there, Leon, from G8KOE.
Okay, G8 KOE in the group, ZS1MM right back. Yeah, you read me well, Martin. It was just I was so busy here, you know, I'm doing 3 things at the same time. And then what also upset me is I wanted to fill in my tax for the year. And then they asked me, how many times were you not working this year? And now I must go and look through all my records, you know, when was I doing extra work for the work, and you know, things like that. So I just scrapped that lot. I'll do that in a couple of weeks later. Right, before I forget again, 3 weeks ago, I think it was on the 14th of the 7th. How many weeks is that? Anyway, Mike G1LWX showed us that little spectrum analyzer, and immediately the next day I ordered one as well, and I'm very happy with it. And I actually took it to work checked it on one of our new Roede and Schwartz generators there, and the calibration is remarkably accurate. I checked it up to 6 gigahertz. They reckon it will go higher. You can read a little bit higher, but anyway, it's really not a gimmick like the previous models of such things. It really works well. So yeah, that I just wanted to mention that, seeing that I forgot to do it last week. Okay, then I've been busy with the Corky cricket. I managed to get this part going. This is just a development of the 40-meter double sideband transmitter. Once I've got everything going, then I'll make a compact PC board, because the whole transceiver I want to fit inside a cigarette box. They've asked for a 40-meter double sideband transceiver. Not interested in CW, because not enough people doing CW. They want to talk. So yes, and it's working. It's still very low power. I haven't got any amplification after the thing at the moment. But yes, I had a problem with the balance modulator. It just wouldn't balance out the, null out the carrier nicely, and the modulation sounded horrible. So I found out that one of the diodes was completely different to the other one. You have the two diodes in the balance modulator. So it's normal 1 in 448. So I took a whole roll of them. I've got lots of them, and I measured them, and I matched 2 of them and put it in. Now the balancing pot is like right in the center, and the balancing cap is also nice. So yes, it's that part, the exciter is working well now. So from there I can carry on. It's very basic. I mean, there's the condenser microphone and the modulator, audio stage. There's the balance modulator, the ferrite thing with the 2 diodes right next to the balancing trim pot there, and then it goes through 1 stage of RF amplification. So very, very basic. Okay, apart from that, I've been playing with the lithium ion batteries again, making up a pack for my friend's boat. I was still cutting some lugs and stuff just like half an hour ago. So yes, that's why I looked so worried, Martin, because I was rushing it, and I must rush again because I must sort of leave at 4 o'clock for Bredasdorp, because my friend on the farm is waiting for me. So yes, that's about it from me. And oh, Gary, yes, I haven't answered you yet on that bracket, your camera thing. That works very, very well. Mine is still in the box, so I haven't even seen it this weekend. I didn't get around to it at all. That's why I haven't answered you. I have another stand. I bought a lot of those. It's also that type of light stands, and I used that. I modified the ends to take the microphones when I built the radio station, Radio Overberg FM, and I still have 2 of those left. So I thought I'm going to see whether that is stronger and holds better than the one that came with the camera. But anyway, once I've done that, I shall let you know. Okay, that's about it from me. So Ed, I hope your cartoon is ready. Yeah, I wonder how Phil got on with his kitchen, whether he's made any programs with his bat receiver. Papa Yellow 2, Romeo November for the group from ZS1 Mike in Worcester.
Yep, that will help. Tell the reason you got there. Morning, afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Leon, Zulu Sierra 1 Mike. This is Papa Yankee 2 Romeo November. Such a short list today, but nice to see Gary, Martin, Leon. good transmission, good reception. I didn't do any pre-test, so glad that I'm working. That's the first time I'm transmitting DATV since last Sunday, and I didn't touch in the system, and it seems working. The only thing I did was because I think I updated the Windows. The only thing I checked was the audio input for OBS, because that always change when you update Windows. I don't know exactly the reason, but the audio input on OBS always get lost when I do my Windows updates. So I just checked that to make sure the audio is working fine. The lighting is not so good. That's because the sun is behind me. So I'm a little. It seems it's missing some lighting, but that's fine. I don't think I need to go better than this. Very nice camera there, Gary. I think I missed the net last week. I think you gave more details about this camera, but I'm very impressed with the capability and very nice support you did in aluminum, and it's really nice camera. I saw on the top of it has HDMI, USB outputs. It looks very nice, and a very good resolution on the. I think that was the Pluto GPIO, the Pluto board you showed. Martin, okay, good. Your rack being refrigerated, and it's good, because I tell you, we are in the middle of winter down here, and temperature at the moment outside is 25, but it's still early, 10:27 here. And it will reach higher than 30 degrees after lunch for sure. So this is the winter that we are living. Very dry, no rain. Problems with water. They are supplying water, I think, only 2 or 3 times a week. So it's yep, temperature is rising, no rain, so things are not going very nice weather with the weather and all those changes happening, among other things, obviously. But it seems nothing's collaborating nowadays. What else? Leon, very nice transmitter board. I mean, it's a proto board, but you mentioned a DSB transmitter. That will be with a suppressed carrier, or is going to be like a classical AM transmitter, a DSB, or is going to be a DSB-SC, or I don't know. So it's going to be a filter that you can switch upper sideband or lower sideband. But nice. Keep us posted how it deploys. Very nice. I don't have much here. I just got some directional couplers from China, and I was testing them. I picked it up from 10, one for 10, 20, 30, 40 dBs. I was testing to make sure they works fine. Very cheap, but all of them are according to the specs, so no surprise. And good to know about the teeny spectral analyzer there, Leon. That one has a new model that goes up to 5 or 6 gigahertz. Nice to know that it's trustable. I do have the older version. Yeah, it's kind of, but it goes up to, I don't know, it goes up to 1.2 gig or 2 gigahertz only. It's not very precise, but gives an idea. Gives an idea, and somehow is useful, but not very precise. The older model, what I have here. At least it's possible to check, something with that. Yep. I think that's it. So back to Gary. I don't see anyone else on the list. Let me refresh the file here to just make sure there is no one else. Nope. So Gary, back to you. Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India from Papa Yankee 2 Radio November on the QO-100 Worldwide DATV Net.
Okay. Papa Yankee 2 Radio November in Brazil. ZA6YI returning good. Yeah, I see there's a Brazilian running one of the biggest companies in South Africa. So that says a lot. I don't know what the company is. I just saw the headlines. Brazilian running South African company. So yeah, well done. Anyway, hello to Paul, OE8PCK. He's not on today. He says hopefully he'll be back on the air shortly, and then we can see Paul again. Yeah, I think it's summer months in the UK, and the time is maybe too early. It's too close to lunchtime, and that's why I wanted to. When the clocks went back, I wanted to move it, or when the clocks went forward, I wanted to move the time forward, and then it will be equal. Then everything stays the same. It's only us in South Africa really that doesn't change clocks. I don't know about South America. You can just tell us there, Ed. Anyway, yeah, this little camera attachment works well. But as I said, you can use the ring it comes with, but you need a little Allen key to sort of tighten it, and it's a wobbly thing. It's not well thought out. The way I've done it now, it's nice and solid. You can move it as you wish, and just once you've got your PC board set up, you just lock it. And yes, indeed, it was from the Pluto. It's not quite the IO board for PTT. It's some other board with small tracks and holes. And I just switched the camera on, and there it was. The thing was skew as per the photo. So I thought, well, here's an opportunity, and just turned it, focused it, and away we went. Incidentally, Leon, I have ordered the zoom lens. It'll be here on the 8th, so maybe next week this time I should have it. And that's going to be interesting to see. It wasn't too expensive, and we can see what that does, just for fun. But of course, we do have the digital zoom. You can go zooming much more. That was a digital zoom 0, by the way. So you can really get up close. And what's nice is it's about 450 millimeters away from the board. So you can get in there with a soldering iron. But I must tell you, even with a very fine point, the soldering iron looks like a broomstick. It takes a little bit of getting your head around it, Anyway, it's all fun. And I had to use it last Friday, a week ago. I wanted to change my laptop's battery. It's one of these ROG things, quite an expensive laptop. And I successfully pulled out the PC board and all. And then it didn't want to work. But on Saturday, I got it right, working without a PC board, without the battery. At least it's working. It's actually running the YouTube channel now. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to leave this one here at home. I don't need a battery because I've got UPSs and all that type of thing. So I can just leave it, then I don't have to connect it. And then I bought a new one. The guy came just now. He cloned the hard drive. But as Romeo told me, you've also got to download the right drivers. So he's gone back to do that. But he couldn't get into his network for whatever reason. So I had to take out my hard drive, it's a DDR thing, and put it into the new computer, and then he could get in and log himself onto the web page or the web, the internet. So that was a bit of a run around, but he's gone to now download all the drivers. I just hope, look, I don't really need the laptop for amateur radio. I've got a proper computer, and I've still got this laptop, the one I've always used. So I'm sorted, but for salt mine work, I do want a fast one, because we do a bit of CAD and we've got to manipulate the stuff. Or I get CAD from BMW or Volkswagen, and then we need to look at it so that we could quote on certain tooling, etc. So it's nice to have a thing with a better processor. The last card I had was an NVIDIA 1680 or something, and now we've got an NVIDIA 4080, I think is it. So it's supposed to be much more up to date. It's 4 years younger, so I suppose it has. And a nice thing, on my ROG, it never came out with a camera nor with the microphone, because they reckon most gamers have headphones and their own mics on. But I believe on this new one, there is a mic and there is an inbuilt and a camera, which is good enough for Teams and all that junk if you have meetings, because now I have to go and set up things, you see. So I won't have to do that anymore. Anyway, it's nice to have a new one, and we've cloned it too, so I just want to see how we'll keep this one up to date as well. So if something goes wrong, I've got a backup. As my wife says, if you want to hit the dog, you'll always find a stick. In other words, you'll always find the reason to buy something when you don't really need it, I suppose. Hello to Joe. Joe Francalaza. I don't know if I'm spelling that, if I'm pronouncing that correct. Francalanza. Hello, Joe. And nice to have you on. Not many people on today, so we'll make this one the final round. I know Leon wants to run. Leon, I've got everything on the desk, but I just haven't had time to go and drill the holes, and I should do that this week, I hope. Although this week I'm quite busy again with people from overseas, and I've also got to take my wife to Pretoria to go and check for the last hip replacement. That's 5 years ago. And this other one's now giving trouble, and we knew it would happen. So it lasted longer, but it'll be good to get that sorted. She's young, man. I don't know what's wrong with her hips, but anyway. The other ones worked flawlessly, so hopefully this one does as well. And then I won't be able to run away. She'll catch me, eh? Right, to you, Martin, sir. G8KOE to take it from ZS6YI.
You like catching me out, Gary. I think you sort of sign and you drop carrier just before the audio's sort of rolled itself out totally. But all good fun. We got there. And I didn't comment on your microscope. I've been terrible today for some reason, not totally getting things together, but it looked very good indeed. And yeah, I've got nothing. Usually I've got a pair of glass drop-down sort of lenses as such, looking as close as I can. But I don't like building stuff anymore. It's just not as good. It's not as easy, shall we say? And to you there, Leon, I do like the way you just build things. I really do. It takes me. I think I used to do that sort of thing, but I don't do it so much anymore. I don't know. I got old and miserable. That's what it is. And what I forgot to do last time was I did say to Adam that I was going to sort of demo again OpenTuner. So let's do that before I forget, which is which should be on that one, I think. Right. Now on the chat, it said I was only receiving one RX. Well, I presume, I'm receiving the satellite and I'm receiving but I could receive anything. Let's see what we got there. Let's click on that one in, that should bring up another station. So that's that one, and the bottom one is me, but it doesn't have to be. I don't know if I can decode that one. It's a 125 signal there. Is it going to decode? Hopefully it will do. There it is. And you can scale it as easy as just drawing the line. So I'm receiving 2 signals. I presume it's 2 RXs is what you meant. This is on the Pico tuner at the moment on the network. It's the network version. But we can get rid of that one and relaunch it all. Lost my chat now, so I can't see myself. I can't see the chat. If we connect to the Winter Hill, we're going to then have 4 windows. So let's see what we can do here. Let's put myself in number 1, hopefully. And in number 2 we can put the 125 signal, hopefully, he says. Come on. Yep, 125 signal, and then that's 4, which would be the window bottom. We can put, so we've got a number of signals there now, and likewise you can resize that however you want. So I hope that sort of demonstrates, and that was what you wanted. Let's relaunch the chat, which I was using the chat which was built into OpenTuner, which I'd better log into. Right. So I'm hoping that there, Adam, SP9ACQ is what the question was, but it makes it very easy to make a window bigger, smaller, etc., etc. At the moment I've got all the information on the left hand side, but I control P and we can get rid of that, he says. So we can nothing on the side, so that gives you even more room to play with. Really good program. It's working exceedingly well, I think. But, let's put me back down into it should be so I'm controlling it all from within OpenTuner. He says it's going to find me. So if we go to 5, which is the center one, so I have set up number 1 is actually the mini tuner. 2, 3, 4 and 5 are the Winter Hill windows, and the other 2 at the bottom, 6 and 7, is actually for the other system on the network, the Pico tune. I was in trouble to remember what it was called, but that's it. Of course, obviously within this also, if you click on it, you can have it'll display what's the strength, etc. is, and plus use the mouse key and you can up and down the volume in each of the windows. So makes it a very usable program. So I have both. I'm just greedy. He says it helps if you display the right screen, doesn't it? Right. So if you click in each one, you can have a little display at the top. Each window with none of them. Plus your mouse key adjusts the volume in each one. So let's adjust the volume in that one. adjust the volume in that one, etc, etc. So there are 4 independent signals on there that I'm able to receive. But hopefully that's explained things. I'm not very good, just a user. Let's go back to that one. Was there anything else I needed to comment on? Eds, your pictures look fine. Yeah, and Windows always seems to go over to default. I usually find, the other thing I found that when I boot up first thing in the morning, it's sort of doing housekeeping on all sorts of things. And if you look at the sort of task manager, it can be quite busy. So quite often I'll let it sort of go through all its housekeeping and virus checking, etc. I'll quite often either close the computer down and restart it, or reboot the computer. The other thing I've tended to find is that not running as many things. So I tend to use the other computer, or the little touchscreen one that I've now got, which doesn't display very well, but that one means that which is just running Windows 10, but that's means I can look at all sorts of things. It says that's what it looks like. But, the previous one I had, the Windows the touchscreen didn't work, but this one, it says touching it. Of course it won't work, will it, when I'm touching it? Oh, I'm touching the wrong thing. That's why, you stupid person. Oh, don't demonstrate anything with the... I can't do 2 things at once. It really doesn't want to display, does it? And that's my control network. So from the buttons, that one at the moment's got the aircon, so I can switch the aircon on and off by just touching that. Turn that, and there are other things there, but they're all whited out, so not good at all. Anyway, probably wandered too far away from the microphone, so apologies on that one. But, thanks, Gary, for running the net. I was getting concerned when it looked as though it was just going to be me. I was thinking, yeah, I don't know quite, but anyway, all good. And I'll catch you next week. It's obviously Cat 24 today, so I think they've got a meeting on at the moment. So that's where everybody is. So that's why it's a small net. And I did enjoy the F1 rerun last weekend. There wasn't any today, but it was a race and a half, I think. Really good. Anyway, I'll pass it on to... Should have been quicker, shouldn't I? No, actually, it's nearly 3 o'clock, but perhaps Leon's still there. So I'll test card and pass it over if you are there, Leon, from G8KOE.
Okay, thanks, Martin. Yes, and sorry, I didn't comment on your Radio Caroline on your previous over. That was very nice footage. That I'd like to see more of it sometime when we have a bit more time. My brother told me about that ship years ago when I was in school, and he told me about this this radio station on the ocean. And yeah, they must have used a lot of diesel to keep that big transmitter going, eh? I mean, there's no power there. You have to generate it yourself, unless they were firing coal-fired boilers. I don't know. But anyway, very, very interesting. Okay. Yeah, okay, on the zoom lens, Gary. Gee whiz. That thing is so potent as it is. I definitely don't need a zoom lens on it. Yeah, you didn't say whether you did any experiments with the other lens that I sent you. that should also work quite well. Okay, gentlemen, I like your cartoon, Ed. I'd like one of those GPSs. I think I need one, because my one doesn't do that. It barely takes me to my sister's place. So yeah. Okay, I have to run. It is now 10 to 4 here in South Africa, and I'm supposed to be on the road by 4 o'clock, and I'm definitely not going to make it. So cheers, Gary and Martin and Ed from ZS1 Mike in Worcester, saying 73s.
All right, Leon, I see you. Have a good trip, and so next week you tell me more about your DSB transmitter. Doesn't need to be today. Martin, I forgot also to mention about your MMDVM. I do have a couple of handhelds for DMR, and I have a something Shark for the hotspot, but to be honest, a long time I don't turn those on. Few years back, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, I used to join, TG, the worldwide TG 91, and there is the national TG, I think 724, which is Brazil. I used to make some QSOs, but I don't know. I really don't. Just keep the handhelds and the hotspot lost in some drawer here. Need to find that again. I'm not sure if there is any talking group for, I don't know, DATV related stuff or QO-100, but yeah, it would be a good idea. It's mainly we, for DATV it would be maybe a good idea to use as a service channel or something. But okay, also thanks for showing the Radio Caroline. They're both nice images, and also the DATV Red. I'm still running the older version, DATV Red 4.8. Actually, my usage for the DATV Red is limited. I don't have much utilization other than just monitor and start my transmission and the reception that I have here. That one is, I think it's very interesting. That helps a lot. So that's it. But that's it. I'm very satisfied with this version 4.8. Not a problem. Gary, thanks again for handling the net. All the best. Wish you all a great upcoming week, and hope to see you all next weekend. Who knows, more people gonna join. And I wish you a very nice Sunday, or what, resting for Sunday. For me, it's still early, 10:53 here. So 73, all the best, and see you guys next time. 73 from Papa Yankee 2, Radio November. Back to you, Gary.
Okay, very, very good there, Ed. Nice signal as usual. And all signals today were very good, so that was fine. Not many people on YouTube either. So let me just see. It's only three people. So, but let me just have a look. There are many that watch, but they don't comment. So hang on. 6 current views, 24 people popped in quickly. So that's great. It still keeps things active. Anyway, Leon, I did try that your lens. As I think I told you, I've got a piece of green cloth way about 6 meters across the desk here, and you can almost see every weave in that cloth with that lens. Now that's something else. That's a zoom and a half. That's meant to look outside and take nice videos of the bokkies, the buck in the garden, or the birds. But yeah, it's a little thing to get it going. Because it's such a zoom. No, that won't work. I've got Leslie here. He's building a bow and arrow, and he's now looking for something to do a lasso with. But he's got some of my special cord that we use. It's a pipe that we use, silicon pipe, for the temperature control on my amplifier, which is only 18.2 degrees. Yeah, it's very, very windy and sort of overcast the whole day. Really, really bad. Typical August winter for our part of the world, when it's windy like this, which is good because it brings the rain, and all the dust settles, and then from the middle of September we start to have good weather. So there we go. But with that, I'm going to say 7-3 to all, and yeah, you must make a nice presentation on Radio Caroline. It'll be nice, and also to see what the results were with, I think it burnt or something. But yeah, and it would be lovely if you could get hold of somebody that actually worked on the ship, that was around those days, that can tell you more, and have an interview with the guy, you know. That would be something really unique, because it was good. They had a similar thing in Holland, just out of, well, into industrial, what is it, international waters. But then they changed the rules, the laws, and what for, you know, what the hell for? There's so many man-made laws of the past that really did nothing except make people's lives more miserable. Right, with that, I'm going to close the net, but push it through for one more round. G8KOE. I'm bloody sure I did not switch off the audio from ZS6 Yankee India. Switch off the audio.
Right, up so I turn the microphone on. Yeah, it's a long video. It was a sad day. But, let's move it on a bit more. It was diesel generators, and must have been quite sort of lethal, really, in some respects, with the equipment and the conditions. I was thinking rough weather, but yeah, I don't know anybody anymore. Any person that used to let's lower the audio on Caroline video at the moment. That's the Optimod, etc. processing that I had. But I used to do discos with Crispy and St John, a couple of them. That was the times of Basil Brush. But he's no longer with us. But, you know, it's you know, it's making things do. You couldn't just nip along to the local shop, I think. Anyway, let's move on, and sort of that's afterwards. Anyway, I've probably jumped past the main bit that I was going to try and show, but I think I'll have to play the whole lot at some stage. But it's just a shame it was a Dutch tug that came out and did the necessary to silence it, but it did come back. Anyway, yeah, I got a lot of time for Caroline, and I'll try and see if I can find out. I've got a friend of mine that's got a lot more slides, etc., that he accumulated in the story of Caroline. But on that note, I think Leon's disappeared. I've made him late, so and told you to the head on the yeah, was it? Did you have an open spot? I had a little blue one, which there are some problems now with them. They're not as compatible as they used to be. But I tend to use the Raspberry Pi with a little board stuck on top of it, and running the MMDVM, the Pi style software, which MMDVM, which was done by Jonathan Naylor, who lived for a fair bit of time in Worthing in Sussex. Good old Worthing. Very nice guy, very nice indeed. And it's all because of him that we ended up with being able to do DMR, because somebody told him he couldn't do it. He's not the sort of person you say, no, you can't. But anyway, right. 7.3 is all. Good net, and round to the red if you're going to come back from Golf 8 Kilo Oscar Echo.
Has left us, so I'll just say 7.3 to all, and have a nice week. It's been a rather quiet one. I just want to end the stream. Not locked. Why is that now? That's funny. I don't know if I've now transmitted above somebody, but anyway, I'm just going to end the stream. Say 7.3 to everybody on YouTube, 7.3 to all the viewers on this channel, and we see each other next week, and hopefully there'll be a few more stations with something of interest. This is ZS6YI, our closing station, and bidding everyone a very happy week. 7.3 all.